It's Friday night. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday.
Hello. Yay. A very warm greetings to everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of the Friday Night Hangout. I'm excited to be here with you. My name is Joy Onyeso, your amazing host. And this is really exciting. This week has been very interesting. I don't know how your week has been, but I would love to know what's happening in your space as gradually we begin the countdown to the end of the year. I want to assume that if you're a business owner, you're already neck deep in activities that will position you well for the end of the year activity. And so tonight we continue our conversation on the 5 things you need to do, your business needs to do before you wrap up for the year 2023. So I want to welcome you. Get ready. I hope you are ready and set for our conversation tonight. So last week we had a conversation on financial analysis as one of the things your business needs to get done before you call it a wrap for the year 2023. And so we continue, and today we're going to be looking at inventory management. We're going to be looking at inventory management, paying a particular focus on taking inventory, right? This is very critical. Good evening, Miracle. Welcome, 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 everyone, to another exciting episode of Friday Night Hangout. So we're going to talk about, excuse me, inventory management. If you are an entrepreneur, so you may have different types of products or services that you offer, and this is that time of the year where, hello Nasiba, welcome. Excuse me. This is that time of the year where you want to make sure that one, you're ready to run the rest of the weeks of the year, and then two, you're ready to wrap up the year strong. Three, you're ready to open up the next year really hitting the ground running. So the way you wrap up the year for 2023 would also go a long way in determining how you open up for the new year. So we want to make sure that before we close down for the business, before we go on holidays, we've put things in place to ensure that when we resume in the year 2024, we're hitting the ground running. And for me, there's always every season brings this opportunity for you to make changes, to reflect, you evaluate, and then put things in place. So perchance there are things you've not been getting right and you've always wanted to do them. This is the right time to start. This is the right time to start putting certain structures, processes in place for you to hit the ground running in 2024. So don't miss these sessions on the 5 things your business needs to do to wrap up, because one of the things is going to do for you to know what you need to get doing right now, right? And it's also going to help you evaluate where you are. And these are all things that are very important for you as a business owner. So now we want to look at inventory. Why is this a very important aspect of your business? Let me first of all start by explaining what inventory is so that we're all on the same page. So when you have a list of all the things that your business have, for instance, your goods, sometimes we call them assets, your stock, your equipment, all of those stuff. These are what inventory is, having that complete list that shows you all that you have, right? So that's an inventory. And you want to make sure that as a business what you have and what you always have. During the course of 2023, you may have spent money in purchasing new equipment, in diversifying into new product areas or service areas. You may have, produced a number of things. You want to know, as you're wrapping up the year, what you have in your store, either your digital store or your physical store. Because I know some might ask me, oh, but I don't have anything physical. All I have is digital products. Even when you run digital products, you also need to have a complete list of what you have, the offerings you have. This is very key, very, very important, because sometimes you may not even know what you have left. Sometimes you may not even know what you have in your either your digital store or your physical store. So it's very important that you make out time as you're getting ready to wrap up the year, to make out time to do this. Ideally, there should be what we call the circle of inventory taking, so that you are not just waiting to the end of the year and then you take stock. You would have had circles. Maybe you say every quarter, every month, depending on the kind of business that you run. But if you've not been doing that, not to worry. This season now presents an opportunity to just get started, right? Now we're going to look at some of the processes that should be included in inventory management. And I want us to remember that inventory management is part of the, broader supply chain management, right? So this is just one subset of the supply chain management. So if you're a business owner, you're doing you deal with all of the stuff. It's important that you at least know the basics of how to get this started for your business. So in inventory management, I would really say that there is no one right way of making sure that of taking stock of your products, right? Because depending on the capacity of your organization, depending on the size, right, this would influence the process. This would influence how you take your stock. So that organization A is doing it this way doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only and the best way. It's not a one cap size fits all. However, there are some fundamentals that we need to ensure that is involved in your inventory management. So let's just look at some of the basic processes that you need to make sure that you get into your process of inventory management. The first one is ordering of stock. Ordering of stock, that starts off the process. Then you look at storing the stock. So from when you order your products to when you receive them, how do you store them? Then selling the stock and also tracking the stock level. So for some of us, we're going to be doing some ordering of stock this period because we're getting ourselves positioned for the festive period, right? Remember we said last week that there are seasons that you just need to position your business to make sales. And so this is one of those seasons. The forthcoming holiday season is one of those seasons where we know we need to position our business to make sales. But then you also need to be sure your business is ready. Your business is ready to make the sales that you require. And inventory management is one of the key things that you need to look at when you are talking about, positioning yourself for the upcoming sales period. There's another key thing I want to talk about here, and that is, during this period, um, many people and organizations were going to be running sales, promos, and I want to tell you that this should be based on data. You will say, oh, yes, here she goes again, data, data, data. I can't get tired of talking about data, because if you're running a business, your business should be solidly grounded on collating data, analyzing data, and making informed decisions based on the richness of the data that you have. So in this season where you're preparing for your sales or you're preparing for your promo, you should make such decisions based on the available data that you have. Why am I saying this? How is this linked to inventory management? Now, you don't just want to there's certain products you have, you can't run sales on them. Perhaps because of the pricing or some is industry specific, depending on maybe the pricing, the profit margin, the availability of the product. So there are a number of things that would make you say, okay, this product is not discountable. You cannot run sales on this product, but you may decide to have what we call bonus. So if you buy this product, you get XYZ, something extra than the product. So you want to be very sure that even when you're taking your inventory, you want to be making sure of those products that you know are not discountable. Now, from when you're receiving your product to the point when you're selling your product, you would always be making sure that you're imputing your data and collecting your data. This is what is going to make it very important for you to know how to order your stock, sell your stock, run your promos, so that you'll not run promos and at the end of the day you say, oh my goodness, why did I run this promo? I've made a lot of loss. Or you're running promo and then you find that you don't even have enough stock of a particular product to enable you run a promo on that product. So you want to be sure that you really when it comes to the top of your level, when it comes to your inventory management, this is very important. Because these are some of the important reasons for making sure that you manage your inventory. You want to be sure that you know the level of your stock and then the quality of your stock so that you do not have spoilage, especially if you're running perishable things, like if you sell chin, you sell peanuts, you do milk dairy products and all of that. You want to be sure of what level of stock you have. You don't want to just keep producing, because these are perishable stock. If you make a lot of this stock and you're not pushing them out into the market, or your demand is not that high compared to your production rate, you will run into troubled waters. Of course, you're going to have a lot of spoilage on your hands. And the other thing I talked about is about the discount. So taking good stock and keeping inventory helps you to know what kind of products you can discount. Another thing it helps you to know is, in terms of running the promo, it even helps you to know which of your products you want to focus on in terms of running your promos. For instance, at the end of the year, maybe you're running a product where the fashion trend dictates what you store, and then you find out that you have a lot of a particular product that will be going out of season, that will be becoming obsolete. You don't want to keep those stuff with you. So one of the ways you can do that is by running your promo or your sales. But then it comes back to what we talked about: data, the richness of your data. If you don't have good data system, it's just going to mess up your system, your business. So no business is too small to keep a good inventory management system. No business is too small at all. The only thing, like I said, is the type of inventory management process you run, of course, will be dependent on what kind of business you do, the size of your business, the capacity within the business. So you want to make sure that at every point in time, you have a good grasp of your inventory. It is very, very important. And as a business, you don't want to shut down without making sure that you've taken your stock for the end of the year. Fiscal stock taking is very key. Now, remember that during this season, many of us are going to be investing a lot in our business in terms of ordering of stock, and then in terms of advertising to run sales, for our business, because we want to have, this is the season where people really want to buy a lot. The season sometimes determines how people prioritize what they buy. Notwithstanding the climb that we are in currently, the climb in Nigeria currently, but it wouldn't stop those who really need your products or services to reach out to do them. So you want to do the needful. Now, you also want to be sure that in all of this, you're looking at your cash flow. Remember that after you wrap up for the year, you're also going to resume for the next year, 2024. You want to make sure that you can optimize your cash flow, looking at the products you have at hand, being sure that when you're resuming for 2024, you have enough products in stock. Depending on the part of Nigeria where you stay, in some places starts very slowly. If you live in Enugu like I do, that Enugu is a slow starting up city, especially in the new year. People take it very slowly and easy to start up the year. But does that mean you have to shut down your business till everything is booming? No. So you want to be sure that you have a good stock level that can take you into end of the year, take you out into beginning of the new year, 2024. Or you want to put a process in place that will enable you to have your stock ready to resume your new year. So it would not be good that you're resuming the year and then you don't have anything in place, you don't have cash in place, you don't have stock in place. It's going to present a challenge for you. So in as much as we're talking about wrapping up the year strong, we want to also make sure that you start up the new year hitting the ground running. And one of the ways you can do this is to plan to wrap up your year very well. When you plan to wrap up your year very well, you can do that. You can resume the next year very, very strong. And one of the key areas you need to look at if you're into products and services is your inventory management. And like I said earlier on, even if you're running digital products, even if you're having physical products, is almost the same thing with just a little bit of a difference. So even if you're running digital products, you want to be sure that you have enough stock level of your digital product to start up the year with. Oh, you say it's digital product, but why? Yes, you need to, because you want to be sure that what you have to start up the year with is what is relevant for starting up with the year with at that point in time. You can't be starting up the year with products that are meant for the Christmas season. So even when it is digital product, you want to be very sure that you have your stock all in place. You have an inventory of what you're wrapping up your year with and what you're going to start up your year with. This is very key because, like I said, you want to keep your cash flow strong and going. You don't want to come to a place where you don't even know where you're going to get cash flow. That's what kills many businesses. You don't have cash, you don't have stock. What do you do? So I don't want us to get to that point where we don't have cash, we don't have stock. This is very key. And so even when you decide to start spending, you would know and remember that you have your stock level to think about. You have your stock reordering to do and all of that. This is very key. And then even if it's equipment and all of that, you want to be sure that what you have is still functional. You know how sometimes you have, and if you have you spent a lot of money investing in equipment, investing in hard tools, and then you don't even know that they're not functional. And this is what inventory management helps you to do. This is where you do physical examination of stuff. Like I said last week, it goes beyond just the book. It just goes beyond your documentation. You also need to physically examine. If you are running physical products, you want to move things around, you want to look at it, and you want to be sure where you are in, so that your record is not saying one thing and then your store is saying another thing. This is where you look to make sure that there is a synergy between what you have in your records and what you really have in your store. This is very, very key for businesses. So you don't run into it and say, I thought I had this. Where is it? I don't know where it is. And then maybe you've already told, oh, I have this in stock. And then someone places order for it, and lo and behold, you don't have it. I've run into that kind of situation with some vendors. They will put out things for sale. You make an order, and they tell you, they come back to you and say, okay, I didn't know that it's sold out. So can you please place another order? That's not a very good thing for you to be doing. Once, twice, yes, but when it becomes a pattern, then it goes to show that you have a problem with your inventory management, and you need to really look at your inventory management to be sure that as a business, you've got what it takes, because that's one of the solid foundation you need to build as a business. Inventory management is one of the basics that you need to get right if you want to grow your business in the long run. You need to know how to manage your business. And I said in inventory management, there are critical areas you need to look at: your ordering of your stock, the storing of your stock, the selling of your stock, and of course, the tracking of the stock level. For some of us and some businesses, it depends. We'll be at different levels of this process towards this end of the year. For some people and some businesses, they're looking at, okay, how do I track the stock already that we have to make sure that we don't run out for the end of the year and that we have enough to start the new year. So this is very, very critical. Now, it's also important that you have a strong organization of processes in place. You have to be tops in organization when it comes to inventory management. You can't run a haphazard, lackadaisical, dysfunctional process when it comes to inventory management. Otherwise, your business is going to hit troubled waters. And of course, that's not what we want. That's the essence of having this conversation, so that you get yourself prepared It doesn't matter if you're a small business or a medium business. These are the basics that ensure that your business is remains relevant in the long run. At the beginning, the foundation of your business, you need to get it right with your inventory management. You just need to make sure that you get it right. So making sure that you're organized, your business processes are organized, the way you order for your stock, the way you impute your data, very, very organized. Even if you're working with employees, you want to make sure they understand what it is, even at the point of sale. Remember, we talked about that last week. We said it's very important that you get to the specifics of every product or service that you order. Make sure that when you are recording this, you're recording those specifics: color, type, order date, uh, um, how many units were ordered, if they are discountable. So even at the beginning, when you have your goods or your stock or your services, you want to make sure that you already know, and everyone in your establishment knows the particular products are discountable or not. So put it down in your record, discountable, yes or no. You make sure that that is written. So you know these products are non-discountable products. These products are discountable products. Now you may say, okay, then how do I sell the products if I don't discount? You could add bonuses to those products. So you buy this, you get A, B, C, D extra. And because you know that the situation around that product or services is not one that will warrant you to be able to discount it, but you can add value to it, and that would also become an added attraction. So don't get yourself into that space where you think that you have to discount every product you have for people to buy. No, you can add extra bonus to what you're offering, and that also becomes something interesting and exciting for people to want to take advantage of your product, right? Now, you also want to be sure that you have a system for collecting this data. You have to be very clear, at what point do you collect your data? When you're ordering your stock, what kind of data do you record? When you receive it, whoever is receiving it, have what we call a protocol, a standard of a procedure for all of this. Why it's important to document and record all of this is you're grooming your business for the long haul. At some point, if you don't already have people working with you, you want to have a standardized process of doing things, so that even when you're not there, you have people who know what to do when they want to order. When order comes in, what do they do? When they're selling, what kind of data do they need to add in, so that you're not always there. One of the essence of being a chief executive officer or an entrepreneur is because you want to have you being self-employed is because you want to have flexibility of time, right? But sadly, most of us find out that we don't have that flexibility of time because we are working in the business and we are working on the business. So when you're working in the business, it means that you're getting yourself involved in the nitty-gritty of the business. You're doing everything, no delegation. But when you're working on the business, it means that you're looking at the holistic picture of your business. You're doing the creativity that is you're involved in the creativity that is required, the visioning and all of that processes, right? So you want to be very careful that you do stuff that can help free time for you to do the most important thing, which only you can do, right? And that is really to work on your business. So make sure that you have a very good data system. We talked about that last week. It doesn't have to be something very complicated. You may say, but I'm not technological driven. Yes, technology has given us a lot of room to do things very simple. You have a lot of apps that can help you do things, take your records, store your data, and analyze your data easily. But at the same time, if you feel that you're constrained, not to worry. The old way would always work for you until you get yourself started up into going digital. You can always have your records books. Like I said, your record books, hard record books with your pen. Always make sure that you do your record and you spend time. Now, the key thing is not just to take the records, but you want to spend time in analyzing the records that you have. Of what essence will it be if you're getting all kinds of information, but you don't have any time or any process that enables you to sit down and really look at what you have in place and how it can help your business? So this is that time for you to really get things started in your business. Like I said, not to worry if you've not been doing proper inventory management. This is the time that has been presented to you for you to get things started, and you can always start now. It's never too late to get yourself started right now. So I hope at this point you've gotten a lot of nuggets from what we've said. And if you haven't gotten started yet on your inventory management or inventory taking for the end of the year, you want to get yourself into that space. And you take your inventory for the end of the year, but you also want to look at the broader picture, which is the inventory management, right? So for some of us, what we're looking at now is just stock taking. But for some of us, we want to look at the bigger picture, which is the inventory management, looking at all the levels that helps you to manage your inventory and make your business to be solid and be able to grow your business sustainably. Now, you want to also have a formal process in place for managing your inventory. And I don't know how many of us are familiar with the FIFO method, first in, first out. A number of us would have known that. So the first to come in is the first to go out. A number of businesses use this, especially those who are running perishable businesses. You want to be sure that when you order a perishable item or you produce one, is the first to go out. You want to use that to track how you put your products out. You don't want to leave anything to get spoiled, right? And then some other businesses might use the average cost method. Now, the average cost method is used when you don't have clarity as to the unit cost of your product. So you want to look at the total cost for getting that product and look at how many units you get out of that product. You can now divide it by each unit to give you an average cost, and then that will give you an idea of how to manage your stock, right? So you want to choose which one. There are pros and cons with which any of the system, but like I will always say, is not a one size cap fits all. You know your business. You know your business. You know the vision you have for your business. You know the strength and weakness of your business. You know the capacity you have in here. So you want to choose the one that you're able to run with. Because at the end of the day, what we want you to do is to have an inventory management process that works for your business, that brings results for your business. That is really what we want you to do. So, people, I hope you had a nice time tonight, and I hope you did get one or two things from our conversation tonight. So, what is some of the valuable content you're going out with? Not just valuable, actionable. Like I would always say, I like you to take action. So, what are some of the actionable nuggets you are going out with this conversation? So, what are some of the actionable content you're leaving this conversation with? Um, I'm seeing Chizoba, welcome, Nasiba, Apex Products, Esther, Chidima, Jennifer, Ezine, Shola, Mr. Denike, welcome everyone. And if I didn't mention your name, please do forgive me. I sometimes there is a lag on the screen and I can only see some names. Okay, so great. Shizaba said just got home. Welcome back home. So I hope you did get some value, and I'm glad to always give value to you every Friday night. And so we continue the conversation next week on 5 things your business needs to do before you wrap up for 2023. We're coming with another important nugget for your business next week, Friday. So in the meantime, remember what we discussed tonight. Have a proper inventory management. Make sure you take stock before you close up for the year, and make sure that you're ready to also hit the ground running for 2024. All right. Um, Miracle says, keeping record will help a business owner to know when the business is moving forward. Beautiful. I'm glad that you got something out of this. And so until we see you next week, Friday, from me and my team is take care of yourself. Remember to smell the roses. Business is not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not a walk in the park. You need to be committed to being in the journey for the long haul. And you may think that you're not growing. You may think that you're not moving. But I tell you that's why it's important to do some retrospection at the end of the year. You would see how far you have come, and then you'll be grateful for some of the lessons you've learned. Even in those mistakes that you're beating yourself up for, lies beautiful treasures that can help you to run successful businesses. So mistakes are okay, they're normal. But the key thing is, what are you taking out of it? What are the lessons you're taking out of it? So for as a business owner, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to struggle at some point. But the key thing is knowing how to take those lessons from those challenging moments and using them as your building block for your successful tomorrow. So I hope you remain inspired and remember your why for going into that business in the first place, and let it be so motivating and inspiring to you that it makes you committed to doing whatever it takes legally to keep your business growing. So till I see you next week, from me to you, it's bye for now. Enjoy your weekend. Have a lovely weekend. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. Bye for now. Bye.